Hey guys, I just want to let you know before the video starts that I'll be guest starring in a video, an X-Men motion comic, X-Men Regenesis. I'll be in episode 4, and I'll be playing the character Glob Herman. So be sure to check that out. Link to the channel in the description. I'll let you get on with your viewing. Today, journey forth with me into the cosmos of the Marvel Universe, where we will learn about 6 sacred artifacts that have existed since the beginning of time, known simply as the Infinity Stones. If preparation for Infinity War is what you seek, today, with me, learn about the Soul Gem. Hey everybody, Ethan Ainsworth here. Today we're going to be doing a video that's a little bit different than your usual shebang. This is going to be part 1 of a 6-part series, wherein I explain how Thanos came into the Infinity Gems. Essentially, how he got to the power that he is an Infinity Gauntlet. So, a little pretext for this is the Infinity Gems, or the Infinity Stones, as the movies refer to them as, are were originally all 6 of the same stone, essentially. Like, they had different attributes, like they do in the movies and in the general comic layout and stuff. But they were all called the Soul Gems. So keep in mind, like, the characters and stuff are going to be calling them Soul Gems, but for the purposes of this video, we're going to be referring to them as the Reality Gem, the Soul Stone, the Soul Gem, the Power Gem, respectively, because that's how you've come to know them, more than likely. So, essentially what happened here is we see Thanos staring into the Infinity Well after having been revived by Mistress Death herself. And in the Marvel Universe, Mistress Death is this being of unknown power, in that she's not necessarily one of the most powerful beings in the universe, but we're not really clear on what her power level is. But she assigns Thanos to the task of destroying, or rather wiping out of existence, half of the life in the universe. And what this means is essentially killing. The way that the death comes about is not really relevant. They don't have to necessarily die. But as long as half the life in the universe is through one method or another eradicated, that would make Mr. Death happy. And the reason behind this is not really clear, because typically when you die in the Marvel Universe, you're met with Mr. Death. But in a lot of these instances, it doesn't seem like she has any real motivation aside from just cleaning shop, as it were. But yeah, so that's Thanos' task here, and he's going to spend the next 6 videos acquiring the power to achieve that goal. So Thanos is more powerful than he was previously. So this is the most powerful Thanos has ever been prior to the Infinity Gauntlet storyline. So he was a threat certainly before. But now that Mr. Death has revived him, she's imbued him with a sort of power cosmic-like force, and that's going to play an important role very soon in this journey. So he's staring into the Infinity Well, and he comes about the knowledge of the 6 Infinity Gems, and these are something that Thanos has acquired previously, but he has failed in effectively using them. But he comes to realize that they should not be used as a blunt force hammer, but rather a tool of precision. So in realizing this, and the locations of these stones, he's able to sort of get all the information he needs from the Infinity Well, which is a sort of source of infinite knowledge, to accomplish his goals here. And essentially, Mistress Death's sort of second, her communicator, as it were, approaches Thanos and asks him what he's doing staring into the Infinity Well, and he explains to Mr. Death that he believes that in coming into the Infinity Gems, he can, with the power invested in the gems themselves, destroy half of the life in the universe without a problem. And essentially, she's hesitant at first, But then he mentions that the first gem, the soul stone, as it were, is in the possession of a character called the In-Betweener, who's an enemy of Thanos and especially Mistress Death. So in saying that, Mistress Death decides to to allow Thanos passage and to allow him to go on his Thanos quest. And so he gets in his sort of magic chair and travels to a place called the Nexus of Reality. Now, this is not a place that a being would be able to travel to under normal circumstances, and it requires an extraordinary being to be able to refrain from turning essentially completely insane through the means of traveling through these dimensions to get there. And these are classical actual dimensions, not universes and stuff like that. They're dimensions in space, okay? So Thanos gets to this essentially planet in the nexus of reality, and in doing so, he's met with an opposing force. He's met with these sort of guardian demons, because what's happened here is the In-Betweener has been imprisoned, and he's being watched over by Chaos and Order, his others, as it were, in their sort of trinity, and so Chaos and Order, who are cosmic beings unto themselves, who are essentially just giant heads of enormous power, they most of the cosmic entities in the Marvel universe, most of the powerful ones represent a concept, and so the In-Betweener is a sort of medium between those two entities. But for his acts, he's been imprisoned on this planet. So Thanos defeats the demon guardians of his chamber, and essentially he approaches the In-Betweener with a sort of not plea but a bargain, a la Doctor Strange. And he says essentially, "Listen, I'm working for Mistress Death, but I wish to betray her, but I myself do not have the power in order to essentially survive an encounter, a hostile encounter with Mistress Death. Therefore, I need your assistance." And the In-Betweener says essentially, "Well, I will be trapped here forever if I don't, go along with this guy. So I better just do what he says, and then I can decide, later whether he should be destroyed or not." So the In-Betweener by himself is not powerful enough to break free from the cage. In fact, he's like just not quite as powerful as is necessary. But with Thanos' help in bombarding this sort of spherical imprisonment, he is able to destroy the cage and leave. And so Thanos essentially turns on him immediately and just uppercuts him. And he explains to the In-Betweener, who's normally more powerful than Thanos himself, he explains to him that his powers work inside the sort of atmosphere, if I could use that term, of his chambers, but the surface of the planet is such that his powers are not functional, so that he's not able to defend himself against the sort of beings that dwell and protect the planet. And that's put in place by Chaos and Order, such that he is able to remain sane in his small imprisonment, in his small confinement, but he's not able to actually escape the planet in the event that he does escape the cage, rather. So Thanos immediately takes the soul gem from the forehead of the In-Betweener and makes his way into the universe to acquire the rest of the 5 Infinity Gems. So yeah, that's the end of the first part. If you're excited about this storyline and you want to see more, be sure to like the video and tell me in the comments. If you don't like the video, you can dislike it, certainly. To each his own. And I'll be back very soon with the Power Stone, with the Power Gem. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.